Good afternoon, folks. Who goes to a pumpkin patch to get pumpkins to carve? Not me. I go to a pumpkin patch to get pumpkins to paint. This is Pam, and with Follow Your Brush. And I'm thinking October, pumpkins, chilly weather. And I've got these beautiful pumpkins that I actually got. I got these about 2 years ago now. And I was really kind of silly at the pumpkin patch that we went to because they had so many different colors of pumpkins and patterns in the pumpkins. I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta buy this one, I gotta buy this one, I gotta buy this one. Today I'm gonna work on this blue one. Look at that beautiful shade of blue. And I am gonna sketch first. And I'm not gonna do the other ones around it because I just don't think that's necessary at this point. It does kind of come like this, and it's nice and fat little pumpkin. I know I need to pay attention to the shadows in the pumpkin. Kind of comes in a little bit and then comes back out. It's actually almost a square or rectangle. I do know my shapes. I hope you're having a great October wherever you are. I am in Georgia, so therefore, someone told me they didn't even know we get freezing temperatures, but not only do we get them, but we have them. We had freeze warnings last night. So let's get to this little pumpkin. I loved it because, not only because of the color, but the variation in the colors. It was just kind of so cool. And it's got this little marking that comes up here. So I am going to kind of sketch that, but when I do go over with my watercolor, what I want to do is come in with some granulating paints. We have it kind of comes down here, it comes around. I do have a kitty joining me back here in my studio today. Of course, what would be a studio without a kitty, right? On my house, anyway. This kind of comes down here. I'm trying to look at my darker spots. And make sure they're noted on here. This is thinner. Comes around like this. Seems to me. An eraser here somewhere, but I don't know where it went. There's a darker spot in here. This comes around like this as well. And as I learned from my mentor, Angela, your first go around just shows you what you don't know about your painting, about your picture, and what you need to change. And so I know that that's going to be the case with this as well. I did try to do these a couple years ago. Now this is just a sketch, so I'm not wanting to get into all my details. When I'm painting it, you just got to keep in mind you're doing a representation of your painting. It doesn't have to be exact. And if you want that, then you know, stick with your picture. So I do have some lines here I wanted to change, but I don't know what I did with my eraser. I just took it out. This actually probably needs to be moved over a little bit. Let me move that over. But I'm going to, when I come in with my water here in just a minute, I'm going to wet some spots and then let the paint run. Some of this I really don't want on here, so okay, I'm getting fussy already with my sketch, and I definitely don't want to do that. So that means I need to stop that. It does have some great markings though, and I do want to be aware of that. I want to be able to leave some light areas where they're light and let the granulation flow, as it were, in some of the other areas. Okay, it's bugging me that I don't know what I did with my eraser, but okay, enough of that. I am going to wet this now, and we are going to begin to create our blue pumpkin. And I didn't wake up my colors, but let me do that. This morning I'm on an Arches block. I'm using Daniel Smith paints. And my Levinson brushes that, you know, I really love. We come back into this. Now, as I go, some of this will change color a little bit. I like to put down my water where I'm going to paint. I like to do that first and then come in with my pigment. I guess it's wet on wet, but it's kind of a cheating wet on wet. I don't know. There's no such thing as cheating, right? When you're painting, you're creating, and we try to avoid that word, cheating, because there's really no rules that we have to follow. And you find the way that you like to do it, and then that's where you go. That's where you go with it. This is going to be a little darker here. But I do have some colors coming down here that I like, and I want to let those colors, the water and those colors, just let them run. And so they follow the channel of the water. You probably already know that. The pigment will go where the water goes. And I personally like to allow my pigment to have that freedom to flow and do what it wants to do. And I think that just really makes whatever you're doing, sing a little bit. Keep some white space. Okay, I'm ready to go in. I am going to go in and choose, if I can get it out of my palette. This is called Sleeping Beauty Turquoise, and it's from Daniel Smith. Kind of like a little bit about what I got on my nails today. Oh, I just looked down and saw my eraser. It was right there the whole time. This will dry lighter than when it's put on. But I'm going to let it flow down my pumpkin. I kind of got tickled because people are at the pumpkin patch picking out pumpkins to carve, to decorate with. And I'm like, oh my goodness, look at the colors in that pumpkin. Look at the patterns in that pumpkin. Look at the markings. Look at the fabulous way that pumpkin is marked and showing its marks. It's incredible. So while other people are picking pumpkins to be pumpkins, yours truly is picking pumpkins to paint. I want to make sure we get the feeling in here that there's some texture. Because I dripped that there a little bit, I am going to kind of give some shadows here underneath. I'm not going to put the other pumpkins that were in the picture. I'm just choosing to focus right now on this particular cute little blue pumpkin. And give it a little bit of a shadow there. Maybe over here. Lightly, let's just have a little pumpkin shadow for our pumpkin patch. Okay, I'm liking this. Let me bring some more down in here. This has some different color that's coming up in this portion of the pumpkin, and I do want to keep this a little bit darker down here on the bottom, or the stem, not the stem, but the bottom of the pumpkin. All right, I am liking that so far. I did look down and discover that my eraser happens to be sitting right here. These are some of the lines I wanted to erase. Probably totally coming in at the wrong time because I can see with the water on there, this is a mistake to try to erase this now. But you know what? We're going to make that work. I'm going to make it part of the painting. This is the channel that you watch so that you know what not to do. Did you know that? I will show you what to do and what not to do. That was one that I shouldn't have done, but that's okay. We're going to leave it. The stem is kind of, as I look at that, it's a little bit of it's not green, it's not brown. Let me look at it again just to get my idea. That's my cute granddaughter, isn't she cute? All right, it's kind of a little yellow, and this color is kind of down in here as well. That yellowy gray color. Look at the beautiful marks on this. That is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. That's why I thought of granulating paint, because it just really kind of lends itself to that. There's almost a leaf pattern there at the bottom. This is starting to dry already because I didn't really wet it that strongly. So let me see what I could come in here. I'm going to come in with some, it's called Bronzite Genuine. Let me just put this in here on this stem. See how that does. And yes, it can blend in with some of these others. That's fine. I need to give that impression up in there anyway of kind of the top of the pumpkin. So it's okay if there's another color in there. In my opinion. And as you know, as it dries, it will dry lighter, differently, give us a different look. Now these markings down in here are the ones that I really, 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 really love. So let me come in here with some wet paint. Not wet paint, water. Paint's gonna come in a second. And I'm gonna come back in with my Bronzite Genuine and just let it run and do what it likes to do in granulating. The Bronzite Genuine is a Daniel Smith granulation pigment, mineral pigment. So they leave the pigment and little bits of minerals in your painting. Some of the pigment will be heavier than the rest. So it kind of settles into the fabric of your paper. Doing this in stages, and some of this is going down here. I didn't really want it to. I come back into my Turquoise Genuine and let some of that run as well. Let these two blend together as they make that those beautiful marks down here at the bottom. Let them blend. Kind of come back here with the side of my brush. Come down, make some of these shapes. Pumpkin time. Whether it be pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice, pumpkin cake. It's that time of the year. I love it. We've been doing a lot of fall leaves in the group, in our Follow Your Brush group. People have been doing a lot of fall colors. And if you are an artist of any type, I welcome you to check us out over there on Follow Your Brush on Facebook. It's a Facebook page. If you're not interested in that, I am starting to do more on YouTube, and you're more than welcome to subscribe and like and all that stuff. I'm not selling anything. I'm not a teacher, as it were. I'm just a watercolorist sharing my journey with other people that want to come along for the ride. When I began painting, I knew absolutely nothing. Some may question that I've learned anything. But I had so many questions. I just didn't know what to expect and what kind of feelings or expectations. I had questions about watercolor. I had questions about paint. I had questions about paper. All kind of things that I just did not understand and needed to talk to somebody. I turned to YouTube And I saw a lot of do this, don't do that type of videos. Don't make these mistakes. 5 easy steps, which I discovered are not that easy. Follow this, do this, and do that. And it just didn't kind of match my experience of what I was going through at the moment. So I thought there might be some of you out there in YouTube land that might feel that way as well and just want to follow somebody else on their journey. As we discover together, one of my favorite ways to learn is to play. And as I play, it will show me what I don't know. It's really good about that. So then I'm able to come back in and see what I don't know and correct it and move on. Or try another method. That's also a possibility, which I often have done. Right now, I only have these 2 colors. I have this Bronzite Genuine, which really isn't quite accurate for what I'm wanting up there. I'm using the Sleeping Beauty Turquoise. I'm still not getting all the depth and shadows that I want. So as I let this dry a little bit, that's going to tell me, or it's telling me, first of all, that I need to let it dry. I'm really bad about keeping going and adding color before it tells me that it's ready. How does it tell me that it's ready? When it's dried sufficiently for me to see that it's changed color as it dries. This was a speckly pumpkin. I like to do this effect. Right now I'm just splattering the paint color and a little bit of water on my pumpkin. If you have paint that is freshly applied, not quite dry, but almost, you can splatter with just water and it will leave little watermarks of the droplets. Into your painting. Giving those little speckled marks. Sorry, I'm thinking while I'm doing this because I'm trying to direct where I put my speckles. But that was one thing that appealed to me about this pumpkin. Now, if you noticed, my water has come down here because I have this on a slant and has kind of washed out my lines at the bottom. So I am going to want to go back in after this is dry a little bit to reinforce that. Right now is a little bit too soon. But I am adding my little speckles to my pumpkin. And then what I will do when this is dry is come back in and add some more definition to the bottom. There's a nice splatter down here in the corner, but you know, I think that's really kind of cool looking. I might add a couple more over here. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's see, I'm getting carried away. I said I was going to come back and do this. And I still will, because it does need actually it needs a little bit of a different color in that definition down here. But I'm going to come in here with this. Now I'm going to sign off right now, and I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll come back to it, because my poor paper, it always suffers at my hand because I'm not really good about letting it dry and then coming back later. I'm going to put some more speckles over here. I know there are many ways to speckle, many ways to splatter. You can use a toothbrush. There are many ways to do this. You can do it with your thumb. You can make a mess like I've just done here. I'm just going to soften all this actually, make this part of the shadow. As long as it's wet, I heard someone say on a tutorial, as long as your paper and your paint is wet, it's alive. I thought, woo, that's really a cool statement. But basically what that's meaning is you can still go in and change it while it's still in that condition, while it's wet. I'm going to let my speckles dry. Then I'll come back in a little while and I'm going to work more on the form on the bottom and my values and depth. But thanks for watching. Have a wonderful holiday. October, fall. Have a wonderful fall. I know it's not the holidays yet. I'm not pushing the holidays yet. I'm talking about the seasons changing. Celebrate that. Cooler weather and the gorgeous colors, even blue pumpkins. I'll come back later and I will define the bottom and the stem a little bit and these top marks. But right now it's telling me to please leave me alone and go away. So that's what I'm going to do. Thanks for watching. This is Pam with Follow Your Brush. Please like and subscribe if you are so inclined. I'm not selling anything, not promoting anybody or anything. Just me painting in my studio. Thanks. Bye.